Some dogs are more than pets. They are living pieces of history. These ancient breeds worked with humans long before modern dog shows or family pets existed. Many of them nearly disappeared, but thanks to conservation, they're making a comeback. In this video, we'll explore rare dogs that survived against the odds, from six-toed hunters in Norway to desert racers in the Middle East. Each of these breeds tells a story about human survival, culture, and the powerful bond between people and dogs. Let's start with one of the strangest dogs in the world, a cliff-climbing hunter with extra toes. The first dog on our list looks like something out of a storybook. The Norwegian Lundehund is small, agile, and unlike almost any other dog. What makes it stand out? Each paw has 6 fully formed toes instead of the usual 4. Its joints are so flexible that it can bend its head backward to touch its spine and even close its ears to keep out dirt and water. Long ago, this dog was a puffin hunter along the rock cliffs of Norway. Farmers relied on puffins as a food source, and the Lundehund's climbing skills made it the perfect helper. But in the 1900s, disaster nearly wiped the breed out. Distemper outbreaks during World War II left only about 6 dogs alive. For most breeds, that would have meant extinction. Instead, dedicated breeders stepped in. Through careful breeding programs and international support, the Lundehund survived. Today, it's still rare, with only a few thousand around the world, but it has become a symbol of how determination can save even the most unusual dog. From a small, 6-toed hunter, let's move to one of the largest dogs in the world, a fearless guardian that still protects livestock today. If the Lundehund is built for climbing, the Kangal is built for guarding. This giant dog comes from Turkey and has protected sheep and goats for centuries. Farmers relied on the Kangal to keep predators away, wolves, bears, and even human thieves. The Kangal is famous for its strength and courage. It has one of the strongest bite forces of any dog, but it's not aggressive without reason. Around its flock, it's calm, watchful, and loyal. A Kangal doesn't chase predators far. It stands its ground and warns them not to come closer. Over time, many pastoral traditions in Turkey and beyond began to fade, and with them, the need for guardian dogs. Crossbreeding and modernization threatened the breed's purity. But today, the Kangal is making a comeback. Why? Because more farmers worldwide are turning back to natural, non-lethal predator control. Instead of relying on traps or poison, they're using guardian dogs like the Kangal to protect their herds in an eco-friendly way. From the rugged mountains of Turkey to ranches in the United States, Kangals are proving that an ancient breed still has a vital role in modern farming. Next, let's look at a much smaller dog, one that doesn't bark like most dogs, but sings its own strange tune. Unlike most dogs, the Basenji doesn't bark. Instead, it makes a unique sound often described as a yodel. This ancient breed comes from Central Africa, where it was used for hunting small game. Fast, alert, and independent, the Basenji was more than just a helper. It was a trusted partner for hunters in dense forests and savannas. What makes the Basenji stand out isn't just its silence. It has a smooth, cat-like coat, tightly curled tail, and an incredible sense of smell and sight. Researchers studying dog DNA even found that the Basenji is one of the most ancient and genetically distinct breeds in the world. For a time, this breed nearly faded away. As imported European dog breeds spread through Africa in the 19th and the 20th centuries, fewer hunters relied on Basenjis. Their numbers dropped, and the breed was at risk of being forgotten. But thanks to conservation and growing interest from dog lovers, the Basenji survived. Breed clubs worked to protect their bloodlines, and today, Basenjis are kept both as pets and as cultural treasures. They may not be as common as Labradors or German Shepherds, but their survival shows the importance of protecting rare breeds that carry pieces of human history. From the forests of Africa, let's travel to the deserts of the Middle East, where another ancient dog once raced alongside kings and nomads. The Saluki is one of the oldest dog breeds ever recorded. Archaeologists have found images of Saluki-like dogs in carvings and tombs from over 4,000 years ago in the Middle East. Known as the royal dog of Egypt, Salukis were prized by pharaohs, kings, and nomadic tribes. These dogs were built for speed and endurance. With their long legs and slim bodies, Salukis could chase down gazelles across the open desert. To their owners, they were more than hunting companions. They were symbols of nobility, loyalty, and even spiritual connection. But as hunting traditions changed and modern life spread across the Middle East, the Saluki's role began to fade. Without active hunting, fewer families kept the dogs, and some feared the breed might lose its place in culture. Yet the Saluki has held on. Cultural pride and breed enthusiasts helped keep it alive. In many Middle Eastern countries, Salukis are still celebrated at racing events and cultural festivals where their speed and beauty are put on display. Internationally, kennel clubs also recognize the Saluki, ensuring it stays part of the global dog community. The Saluki's survival shows that ancient breeds can remain important, not just for work, but for culture and tradition too. From desert royalty to a dog that sounds almost wild. Next, we meet the mysterious singing dog of New Guinea. High in the mountains of New Guinea lives one of the rarest dogs on Earth, the New Guinea Singing Dog. Unlike most domestic dogs, this breed is closer to its wild ancestors. Its name comes from its eerie, high-pitched call that rises and falls like music. No other dog sounds quite like it. The singing dog is small, with a fox-like face, sharp ears, and a flexible spine that helps it climb steep terrain. For centuries, it lived in isolation, adapting to the rugged highlands. Some believe it represents one of the earliest types of domesticated dogs that stayed close to the wild. For a long time, experts thought the singing dog had disappeared in the wild. By the mid-20th century, only a few were kept in captivity, and many assumed the natural population was extinct. But in 2016, researchers rediscovered a small group of wild living dogs in the mountains of Papua, suggesting the breed still survives in hidden corners. Today, conservationists and scientists are working to protect the singing dog through captive breeding programs and sanctuaries. While numbers remain very low, just a few hundred worldwide, this unique breed carries rare genetics that help us understand the story of dog evolution. The singing dog is a reminder that not all ancient breeds were shaped only by humans. Some walked the line between wilderness and partnership. From a small, wild-voiced dog, let's turn to one of the biggest guardians of all, the mighty Mastiffs of Spain. In Spain, protecting sheep has always been serious business. For centuries, flocks were moved seasonally along ancient trails in a practice called transhumance, traveling from the mountains in summer to the lowlands in winter. Alongside the shepherds walked enormous dogs, the Spanish Mastiff and other Iberian guardian breeds. These Mastiffs were bred for one job: protecting sheep from wolves. With their massive size, loose skin, and calm but fearless nature, they could fight off predators while staying gentle with the flock. As farming modernized and long-distance flock movements became less common, the role of these mastiffs began to fade. Crossbreeding and declining use meant fewer purebred guardians were kept. By the 20th century, the Spanish Mastiff's numbers had dropped sharply, and the breed risked being overshadowed by more popular modern dogs. But today, there's a comeback. With wolf populations recovering in parts of Europe, shepherds once again need strong livestock guardians. At the same time, cultural festivals and heritage groups in Spain celebrate the Mastiff as a national treasure. Breed clubs carefully track pedigrees, and working farmers are restoring the dogs to their original purpose. The Spanish Mastiff shows us that ancient breeds don't just survive for history's sake. They remain practical tools for modern farming and conservation. Not every ancient dog is massive. Some are smaller, village-type dogs that survived by living close to people. Let's look at two breeds with wild roots that adapted to human life. Two of these are the Canaan Dog of the Middle East and the Carolina Dog of the southeastern United States. The Canaan Dog is one of the oldest known pariah dogs, meaning semi-wild dogs that lived alongside humans without being fully domesticated. For centuries, they guarded camps, herded sheep, and survived off scraps. Their sharp senses and independence made them reliable watchdogs in harsh desert environments. When Israel was established in the mid-20th century, Canaans were among the breeds chosen for national recognition, and breeders worked to preserve them as part of cultural heritage. The Carolina Dog, sometimes called the American Dingo, has a similar story. Found in the swamps and rural areas of the southeastern U.S., it closely resembles ancient dogs brought by early humans across the Bering Land Bridge thousands of years ago. These dogs lived as free-ranging companions, scavenging and hunting small prey. Many scientists believe they represent a genetic link to the earliest dogs in the Americas. Both breeds face the same threat: modern pet dogs. As purebred European breeds spread worldwide, local pariah-type dogs were often crossbred or driven out. Yet, thanks to conservationists, breed clubs, and genetic research, both the Canaan and Carolina dogs are being protected. Today, they're recognized not only as unique pets, but also as living connections to humanity's earliest dog companions. So, how do people make sure these ancient breeds survive? Let's take a closer look at the conservation efforts keeping them alive today. Saving ancient dog breeds takes teamwork. One key strategy is breed clubs and registries. These groups carefully track family lines to make sure inbreeding doesn't harm the dogs. They connect breeders across countries and help keep small populations healthy. Another important effort is working partnerships. Guardian dogs like Kangals or Spanish Mastiffs are placed with real flocks, so they continue to do the job they were bred for. By keeping them useful, farmers ensure the breeds remain strong and valued. For breeds on the edge of extinction, such as the new Guinea Singing Dog, sanctuaries and zoos play a critical role. They manage breeding programs, exchange animals internationally, and sometimes even reintroduce dogs to safe, natural environments. And then there's science. Researchers now use genetic testing to understand a breed's diversity and health. DNA samples are stored in gene banks so rare traits won't be lost forever. Together, these methods mean ancient dogs aren't just frozen in history books. They're living, breathing companions that continue to evolve with us. We've seen how different dogs were saved and why they matter. From the six-toed cliff dog of Norway to the royal hunters of the desert, these ancient breeds remind us that dogs have always been more than pets. They were hunters, guardians, and companions who shaped human survival. Each of these dogs carries a piece of history. The Basenji shows us the roots of our partnership with hunters in Africa. The Kangal and Spanish Mastiff prove that guardian dogs are still vital in modern farming. And the new Guinea Singing Dog, almost lost to time, connects us to the earliest chapters of dog evolution. Protecting these breeds isn't just about saving rare animals. It's about keeping cultural traditions alive, preserving genetic diversity, and honoring the bond between humans and dogs that has lasted thousands of years. These dogs survived against the odds because people believed they were worth saving. And in protecting them, we protect part of ourselves. Which of these ancient breeds surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this journey into the past, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories about the animals that shaped our world.